Okay, so we're going to cover challenge 3.1 in module 3. And what they're wanting you to do here, so they're going to be giving you an input. And I want you to count from 0 up until the input that they give you. So the expected output should be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So to do that, all right, so what we want to do is create a variable. Create it as 0, then we'll set our while loop up. And we'll say as long as this variable is less than or equal to the value of n, which we know is 7, we want to print that variable. But then we also want to create the loop piece of it where we just add 1 each time it runs through the loop. And so the new value, each time you run it, it runs through the loop, then it's going to be 1 plus that value. So we start at 0, we print that, so it prints 0, and then so the value is 0 plus 1, that becomes the new value here, which is then 1 plus 1, and so on and so on. And that's how you get this expected output. Now let's go to 3.2. So this is pretty much the exact same thing, but you're starting from a value and then reducing to 0. So the input's going to be 7. Okay, so let's get rid of this. And so let's set up our loop. So while n is greater than or equal to 0, we want to print n. So we know n is 10. And now all we have to do is say n equals n minus 1. And so then the loop runs through. That starts at 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. The new value becomes 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. And so on and so forth until you get to 0. So let's go to the next challenge. Where are we? Okay, challenge 3.3. All right, so this challenge, they're going to be passing in a value, just like the last two. It's going to be 6, and it's saying here, so if 6 is positive, then output all values from n down to and excluding 0, and then if it's negative, then output it up to and excluding 0. So the way you set this up, because this is the output that you want. So let's get rid of this. So you want to, they're passing in n is being passed in as 6, and you want to set our direction value at 0. And then let's say if n is less than 0, then our direction is going to be equal to a value of 1. And else direction is going to be equal to negative 1. All right, so we've established the direction. Now let's set up our while loop. So we're going to say while n is not equal to 0, because it wants to exclude 0, we're going to print n. So we'll print n, and then we're going to say, create the loop piece of it, where we say n equals n plus direction. And so what this will do is you first print n, and then it runs back through the loop, and n is n plus the direction. So it adds the negative 1 to it, and then that becomes So 5 becomes the new value then, and so on and so forth until you get down to 1. And you should get this result right here.